Hey guys, it's Roya Runa here. So today we're going to be talking about Chaos Raids. Chaos Raids is going to be released on November 8th as we were previously informed through Nixon. So the first thing you need to know is which Chaos Raids are we going to get. So it has been confirmed that we're going to get Shadow Altar, Moonlight Fortress, and Lubalist, which are going to be the Chaos version of the normal Lubalist basically. So you need to understand that every chaos raid, it requires a different weapon, uh, different like the attribute, not the attribute, the effect on the weapon itself. You can read it that it would say this effect in, for example, Shadow Altar. So currently, most of us are using Fire Dragon weapon. So Fire Dragon weapons effect is gonna be linked to the Shadow Altar. So mainly everyone's going to be doing Shadow Altar. So how do we prepare for Shadow Altar? What should we do? How should our gear look like? And how are we supposed to, just overall get ready? So first of all, we need to understand what is overgeared, what is the recommended gear, and what is undergear. Overgearing, it means that you exceed the gear that is required to the point that it becomes a waste and unneeded. Because once the raids are out, all of our gear is going to be replaced by the raid gears, for example, the weapons, the equipments. So it's a huge waste for your onyx stones. So I wouldn't recommend overgearing, like getting to 5,000 gear score and then like what's the point? You're gonna switch everything. And you need to understand that gear score is just a number. It's not your potential. Okay, it has a fraction of your potential damage, but your damage comes from your equipment's status. So for example, for outfits you want to get percent boss. For weapon, it depends on your class. You want to get either magic piercing or physical piercing and piercing, or damage to boss and piercing. Like there's a lot of combinations, but like your main damage is gonna come from the potential of your items. So you want to be looking for percent boss on your helmet, top, bottom, shoes. I think gloves as well, and cape, earring. Like you want to try to gain as much percent boss as possible. So when it comes to enhancing, what is over enhancing? So you see all of these people get their weapon to plus 14, plus 12, plus 13. It isn't actually that necessary to get it to plus 12 because, as I mentioned, like within the first week, hopefully everyone clears and you're gonna just replace your weapon. So it's a waste of time and a waste of money because you're wasting valuable time that you can run different dungeons to gain different items for your character by running the same dungeon, so you can actually use the weapons to sacrifice to upgrade your weapon even more. So at that point it becomes like you're going backwards instead of frontwards. So over like it would be considered over gearing because it's not really necessary. Another thing is getting all your equipments to plus 10. It would increase your defense, but it isn't needed either. As I said, it would make you more tanky, but if you're a DPS class, you don't really need to be more tanky. That's not your job. So you would need to output damage. So I wouldn't recommend to get your gear to plus 10. It's gonna be a waste of your crystals, your stones, your time. Like it's gonna be a waste of a lot of different things. What I would recommend is to get your weapon to plus 10, and that should be good enough because, as I said, gear score doesn't really matter. It matters, but it doesn't really matter. It's not where your damage come from. Your damage come from the potential of the items. So you want to get your weapon to plus 10 and keep it there. That's sweet, because it's going to be replaced. And then you want to get your equipments to plus 6. Don't go over plus 6. It's a waste. Like, I'm going to keep mentioning this because that's what I think. It's a waste. As you're going to the raid November 8th. Hopefully we clear after, 100 tries or whatever. And then they will be dismantled. So why not save up your stones and crystals just to instantly boost up your legendary gear to plus 10? What is under geared? Anything under plus 10 weapon and plus 6 equipments, that is considered under gear, and you shouldn't even bother to go to the raids because it's gonna be hectic. You're gonna die a lot. Your output damage isn't gonna help you a lot. So another thing that you need to do before the race come out is you need to make sure that you have gained all your skill points, because it's going to be important, because skill points really matter, as it increase the benefits of your skills and damage, and it outcasts your own character, and you can do more damage or you can do more heals depending on your class. And get all your AP points as well, because it's gonna also matter. So I have done a video about SP, and I'll do one soon about AP. I'll link the SP one in the description. So another thing you should be aware of is that the chaos raid combination parties, like the parties, like what type of parties should you create? So there's two type of parties I would recommend. uh, the like there's a type of party that you would have high damage but more risk of dying, and then there's a second party which you would have, like, I would call it, personally I would call it perfection, at least for me, because I think like it's good enough. And it's like the perfect thing you want to do. So how does this formation happen? For the first one, which is two priests, two knights, and six DPS. So you would have two people to protect protect the DPS, and two people to heal the DPS. I would say like one priest would stay with the range people, and one priest would stay with the melee people, and same with knights. One is gonna be with the range, and one's gonna be with the melee. That way we make sure that it's more safer for them, and it's overall better. And then the second one, where you would do the raid faster, because you have an extra DPS. Is going to be two priests, one knight, and 7 DPS, so everyone's going to have to go behind that one knight. So it's going to have higher damage but more risk of actually failing or dying. Not necessarily failing, I'm not going to say failing, because that's like, it should, like, that's not related. Like, you can even go in as 10 DPS if you're a pro and just kill it somehow. But like, I'm talking about the perfect combination. And you need to understand that because we are going to be 10 people, the raid is going to do, like, the boss in the raid is going to have higher HP, and it's going to do more damage toward us. So now that we mentioned the perfect combination, we said you can either have 6 DPS or 7 DPS. So should you have all berserkers? Should you have all archers? What classes DPS should I put in my party? Here's the recommended. You want to have a rune blader, an archer, an assassin, and a wizard for their buffs. And then you want to have a gunner, because gunners are boss killing machines just like assassins and archers. And then you can have whatever other DPS you want. But you want to prioritize to get one class each. I just hit my mic. I hope that didn't hurt your ears, guys. So you want to have one class each that provides a buff to the party. And one of your priests as well needs to be a smithing aura priest, so they can apply their smithing aura to the boss, so you can do, like, I think it's 6 point something percent more damage. And your knight should be using I think it's called throwing shields, iron shields. I'm not really aware of the name, but there's a skill that would reduce the defense of the boss. And the boss, so basically you would do more damage to it, because the defense of the boss was reduced. You can do more critical damage, and more, like, your piercing is gonna affect it more. And the last thing I would recommend is to go on YouTube and search for Shadow Altar, the Chaos Shadow Altar raids, and to study the mechanics, understand how the boss works, understand the pattern of the boss, get your group together, talk about it. And I also forgot one important point is you guys need to have a Discord and be in a voice chat together, so one person can actually do the call outs, while other can discuss. Like, you can discuss before going to the raid, but once you go into the raid, everyone needs to be quiet, and then, like, the one person is gonna do the call outs, like for example, you want to do, for example, like, say the boss does a swiping attack, it's gonna be like swipe, like he would call out swipe, or call out like go behind the knight. And if you're low on HP, you want to, like, alert your priests, be like, hey, I'm low, can you heal me? And that is basically it. So I hope this video helped you to understand or what to expect and how to get ready for the raid. If you like the video, please click the subscribe button and give a like, and I'll see you in future videos. Thank you.